Survivor is a game about deprivation, and Adam O'Brien knows that better than most. Castaway, voted out on last night's episode, went 6 days without eating at one point during his time on the show. He also went 22 days without doing a poo. O'Brien, 29, says he didn't do a poo during his first 3 weeks on the show. It wasn't until the merge feast, where he gorged on fruit and other goodies, that he did a poo. The medics were like a little bit worried, but I wasn't worried about it at all because I felt fine. But when it got to like day 20, I was like, getting real. After that merge feast was the first time, he said. Survivor NZ, why Adam O'Brien got a huge Botox injection before going to Thailand. But poos wasn't the only thing stored up inside O'Brien's body while he was on Survivor. He also held in his rage. Part of O'Brien's strategy was to help create a positive environment around camp, and to do that he had to keep in check the assertive and opinionated sides of his personality. I didn't want people to know that I had any kind of intelligence. I wanted people to assume I was quite dumb and just happy to be there, he said. O'Brien then used his confessional interviews, which occurred every 3 or 4 days, to vent. That's why some of his interviews might seem a little harsh, he says. I would just rant for hours. I was just getting out all of that aggression and all of my opinions. It does come across as pretty intense, but I'm not lying in those things. I am telling the truth, but I can see how it would offend people, he says. Nothing is personal from me when I'm in those games. I'm just ranting. I love everyone in real life out of the game. I have no problems with anyone at all. But when you're in the game, that's just a part of it. O'Brien lost more than 15 kilograms while on Survivor, in part because he didn't eat the rice that was staple of the castaways' diet. While he was able to snack on fruit, pizza and other luxury foods won in reward challenges, his aversion to rice meant he went 6 days without food at one point. The rice was disgusting. And those pots we cooked it in, yuck. I could taste it. It was like terracotta pot flavored, O'Brien says. I think the thing that put me off the rice was on day 1, we made this yuck overnight rice where we just soaked it, and it tasted like S. And I gagged eating it. O'Brien says he made lots of mistakes while playing Survivor, but perhaps the biggest was an over-reliance on fellow castaway, Matt Hancock, who was voted out the week before O'Brien. O'Brien says the pair worked well together because O'Brien's defensive play complemented Hancock's more assertive approach. However, O'Brien thinks he got too complacent. I think I let Hancock attack too much and I didn't help him out. I was way too lazy. I got to the point where I just stopped eating because I didn't need energy because Matt was doing all the work, you know. I think that caught up with me. I should have attacked that week Matt went home, but I didn't. So how did O'Brien react when he found out Matt's other close ally, Dave, was actually his school friend from outside Survivor? Unlike some of his fellow castaways, O'Brien doesn't think the show's secret friendship had much impact on the game, though that hasn't always been the case. I don't think right now as I've watched the show it made any difference at all, not one bit. But at the time, I just went straight for, oh my god, the friendship, it's ruined me. I needed to get over that. I talked about it with my family, and I made heaps of mistakes, as we all do in the game, but I made a few too many and they caught up with me. At the end of the day I was responsible for my own game, and they needed more than 2 people to vote people out anyway, he said. O'Brien made headlines ahead of the game for injecting a huge dose of Botox into his forehead to help conceal his emotions. Thinks it worked. Stuff promoted, stories recommended by